Welcome back, everyone. Hope you've been enjoying our conference so far. We've got another great company to present to you today. Let's welcome Grail Technology. It trades on the OTC Pink sheets under the symbol GOGY and is a fast-growing company with a strategic mission to aggressively build and operationally streamline the growth of its beverage portfolio through fiscally responsible investing. Please welcome Erin Heit. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Anna. How are you today?
Great. We're excited to hear your presentation.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon to my fellow East Coasters, and I guess good morning to any West Coasters listening. I'm here from sunny Florida, and I hope that I could pass along some sunshine to you all during these winter months. Thank you for having me on the Emerging Growth Conference, and I just want to say I wish the best of luck and success to all other presenters. Great job today. Golden Grail is very excited to have this opportunity to connect with our investor community and share some insights on the company. I do have a lot to cover today, and I also want to leave an adequate time for question and answers. So in order to make this presentation most efficient for our listeners, let me provide a brief summary of my agenda. First, I will review Golden Grail's mission, then give a brief perspective on the beverage industry, explain how Golden Grail is fiscally responsible, how we implement environmental, social, and governance factors, touch upon our management and team, talk about our most recent and fourth beverage acquisition, and lastly, give you a description for our exciting beverage portfolio. So for all of you that love investing in beverage, you'll be thrilled to hear about this undervalued opportunity. And for those investors that want to understand the beverage industry and finally play a part, let's get to it. Golden Grail is innovating the business of beverage. We are a fast-growing company with a strategic mission to innovate, grow, and streamline our beverage portfolio through fiscally responsible investing. So innovating the business of beverage. Now, what do I mean by that? So before I get into why Golden Grail is an innovator in beverage, let me give our listeners some background. If you read my bio, I spent 20 years in the beverage industry. I personally have made a career out of helping entrepreneurs take their concept to market. I was an integral part of launching Vitamin Water, Fuse, and Celsius, to name a few. Golden Grail is the first company I have seen to innovate the business of beverage. The typical approach is an entrepreneur has a concept and then spends millions and years to try to get it to market. Golden Grail has innovated this approach. The definition of innovate is to make changes in something established, especially by introducing new methods. Golden Grail is doing just that. We are a true innovator. Golden Grail identifies established brands that already have proven sales history, a loyal consumer base, and retail presence that are in need of a more sophisticated management in order to advance their brand. We acquire brands with fiscally responsible investing in opposed to established methods of spending millions and years developing brands. So now you're thinking, what is fiscally responsible investing? So let's go back and dive deeper into the point that I made earlier on how much money and time is spent on new brand development. In my 20 years of beverage experience, I can tell you that any new brand concept coming from a person who doesn't have decades of beverage experience will spend anywhere from $3 to $5 million on getting their concept to market. Between formula development, testing, trials, reformulations, packaging reviews, branding, graphics, labeling, test runs, marketing materials, salespeople, and product runs. And that is not even counting everything or any mistakes along the way. And I can attest there are mistakes. Golden Grail has seized an opportunity to capture a brand after they have passed those millions spent and purchases the brand and all their assets for pennies on the dollar at a significant discount. We already know the brand has sales, retail presence, a consumer base. Essentially, we buy brands with immediate value. We can then focus our money on product runs and distribution that will translate immediately into revenue. This, my friends, is fiscally responsible investing in Beverage. It is refreshing for me and exhilarating to be part of this revolution and innovation. I spent years in the beverage industry, and this is the first time I've seen a company step out of the norm and do something that truly makes business sense, not just trying to utilize a beverage brand for their own popularity or join an event that they want to go to or be able to gain access somewhere that they normally couldn't. Beyond being fiscally responsible, Golden Grail is implementing environmental, social, and governance factors. After we acquire each brand, we evaluate packaging material, the carbon footprint, and our manufacturing practices. Each brand will have its own cause-based organization. We were proud to announce in January our partnership with AVDA, a non-for-profit that helps victims of domestic violence. And as each brand grows, so will our cause-based programs within our communities. We have a dedicated individual that focuses on corporate governance, and the company's CPA uses accurate and transparent accounting methods who specializes in SEC practices. This leads me to talk about other key management and team members. Stephen Hoffman, who is currently the interim CEO, brings years of financial discipline. Our other team members include a young, energetic, and bright social media agency, reliable website developer who will be assisting us with our entire beverage portfolio being sold online, our e-commerce platform, a sophisticated and seasoned public relations agency, a corporate communications professional, and an investor relations consultant. Gearing up for 2022, we're meeting and talking with various sales partners. So now that you have the stage set, I want to move on to our latest and most recent news announcement, our Tickle Water acquisition. We announced this yesterday, and we are already getting calls and emails about this brand. Tickle Water is a popular children's beverage brand with recent heavy retail presence. Tickle Water's acquisition marks the fourth edition in a year for Golden Grail. Tickle Water is an innovative, premium sparkling water initially created for children. The proven brand has recent strong retail presence with availability at such national outlets as Walmart, Amazon, Duane Reade, Walgreens, ShopRite, and other high-volume supermarkets, national drug, and natural food chains and independent accounts. Tickle Water disrupted the flavored sparkling water segment by offering a healthy and enjoyable sipping option specifically for children. Tickle Water is naturally flavored, free of preservatives, free of GMOs, gluten-free, free of sodium, sugar, calories, and artificial sweeteners. This makes it an ideal product for today's children. The current lineup of all natural flavors include orange mango, green apple, watermelon, grape, and natural sparkling water. I can attest to this brand because my toddler loves it, and my nephews, who are tweens, love it. Our plans for Tickle Water are, in addition to relaunch the thousands of established retailers that previously carried Tickle Water, we plan to market Tickle Water responsibly to tweens. We will evaluate the name and most likely develop a brand extension to suit this independent coming-of-age demographics to add to the already popular line of Tickle Water. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, watched the Super Bowl. Well, we were shocked to see how irresponsible Liquid Death marketed their water to tweens. We are in a time when we are all fighting against teen suicide, depression, and death has surrounded us globally for the past 3 years with the pandemic. Advertising death in a can and destructive behavior was a negligent act by a new beverage company. We are motivated more than ever to relaunch our premium flavored sparkling water for kids in an age-appropriate, fun, healthy, vibrant, full of life, not death, trendy way. I hope other moms, fathers, responsible adults, and investors will support Golden Grail in our efforts to overturn the reckless marketing of Liquid Death. Moving on to our other product offerings, we also have Trevi Essence Water. Trevi Essence Water was another proven brand that could be found in such supermarkets such as Publix, Lucky's, and others. That brand is a true, clean label beverage with a superior flavor that stays true to the fruit. Trevi has 0 sugar, 0 calories, no preservatives, no artificial ingredients, gluten-free, vegan, kosher, and diet-friendly. Trevi comes in 4 delicious flavors: mango orange, coconut lime, peach, and grapefruit. I'm getting daily emails from consumers telling me how much they love Trevi and prefer it over any other flavored water. This is another healthy, on-trend product that we have recently acquired. Spider Energy Drink is another brand offering. It's packed with serious energy. This formula is a perfect balance of energy, boosting B vitamins, taurine, guarana, ginseng, key levels of amino acids, and herbal extracts. Spider Energy is known as one of the best tasting energy drinks available, with a fresh citrus flavor without the medicinal aftertaste associated with most other energy drinks. We're also working on a hemp-infused formula for Scorpion Energy Drink. According to Brightfeld Group research, sales of hemp and CBD products are expected to hit $2.5 billion by 2025. Pepsi just announced their brand extension of Rockstar that will be a hemp-based brand. It is very clear that Golden Grail is on trend. Today's environment, a company can't just have one beverage that satisfies one usage occasion. Our consumption is diverse, complicated, mood-based, occasion-based, age-based, and lifestyle-based. I know me personally, I start with a coffee, I have a green drink, then I'm drinking Trevi all day. Then in the afternoon, I need to pick me up and I grab a Spider. But at nighttime, I might have a glass of wine, some hot tea, and more water. I am sure this resonates with most of you. The new and most sustainable beverage companies are those who develop a multi-brand portfolio. We already have a robust multi-brand portfolio that covers the most emerging categories. And again, we have just begun. Our mission is to innovate, grow, and streamline our beverage portfolio through fiscally responsible investing. Golden Grail is a great undervalued opportunity at the ground floor. Much like when I joined Vitamin Water, Fuse, and Celsius. I think Celsius was trading at around 3 cents when I took the position of VP of Marketing. And now it's on the NASDAQ trading around $40. And I'm sure all of you know the huge success stories of Vitamin Water. Coke bought it out for $4 billion and Fuse, another Coke acquisition. Basically, the beverage industry is a fun, vibrant, dynamic place for investors. When a company has the right business acumen and remains fiscally responsible, the upside is tremendous. Golden Grail has streamlined a process to efficiently and effectively acquire brands on an ongoing basis. We've had exceptional growth in the past 10 months, and we are exceeding our business plan. And this is what makes us a leader. I'm very excited about this ride with Golden Grail and looking forward to help grow this company into a huge success. So either stay on board with us or come on board. We're doing this. And Anna, I want to thank you for hosting this days of conference. And I want to open it up to any questions our listeners may have.
Fantastic. Okay, Erin. Yes, we've got some questions for you. Excuse me. Tim Castro asks, you say that Golden Grail's message and mission is to innovate the business of beverages. Explain a little bit more, please.
Well, just to reiterate, the standard approach in the beverage industry is for entrepreneurs to have a concept, take that concept and try to seek resources to formulate it, hire third parties to brand it, graphic designers. They go through millions and years to try to just get their concept to market. This is the established approach when you enter into the beverage industry. A lot of these entrepreneurs also get distracted by ego and by popularity that the brand brings along for them. Brands, as you know, can sponsor really cool events, nightclubs, other, places that maybe without the brand they could not participate in. So with this standard established approach, we are innovating this approach by entering into the beverage industry, by acquiring brands, established brands with proven sales, gone through all of their millions in years, for pennies on the dollar at discounted pricing. And we go in there and we have an immediate value within our brand with a very short period. We have just begun, it's been about a year, and we already have 4 brands in our portfolio via this new innovative approach to the business of beverage.
And Amy Sullivan asks, you just announced Tickle Water, right? So tell us a little bit about what Tickle Water is doing in that current portfolio.
Sure. Well, Tickle Water has been around since 2016. It was a disruptor in the category. A constant issue is child obesity, sugar-laden beverages, and poorly marketed food products for children. Tickle Water had come into the marketplace and really was very popular, gained into thousands of retailers. We're very excited about this brand. We have recently acquired them. So when we acquire a brand, the next step will be an onboarding phase. So we will onboard that brand. We will review packaging based upon our ESG policies. We will see if that packaging fits within our business practices. We will then also collect all assets and collateral, transition, do any modifications, review manufacturers, and then from that point on, we will set the brand up for a product run and then relaunch it back into the thousands of retailers that it was already in, get it back on shelves. And then with that brand also, we are going to be heavily promoting it in social media in a very responsible way. Like I had touched upon, some of the newer beverage companies are being reckless with marketing their brands to the younger demographic, and we are a responsible company, responsibly marketing healthy products in a very positive way.
Sounds great. I get that a lot. So Travis Owens asks, there's been a lot of acquisitions in the beverage space over the years. Which major would your product fit best with and why?
Can you repeat that question? I'm not sure I quite understand it.
Sure. Well, which major would your products fit best with and why when it comes to acquisitions from the majors out there?
Oh, you mean like the Cokes and the Pepsis? Well, right now we're focused on building out a beverage portfolio. So we see this new trend in the beverage industry. I had touched upon it where a lot of these beverage brands would come in and do a one-trick pony with their brand, and with that they don't have a sustainable business plan, so they have to diversify. You see a lot of brands now that might be having an energy drink, and then they do a powder, and then they do a creatine, and then they expand into the gym world and try to do bars and this and that. And the reason being is because consumers these days don't just choose one beverage throughout the day. They have different usage occasions. If they're going to the gym, they might be drinking something different. If they're going to a party, they might be some different drink on the weekends versus the weekdays, the morning versus the afternoon. So as far as for positioning, our focus right now is to build our own portfolio, to make a robust portfolio in emerging categories. And then the positioning for any of the bigger players for the person asked, we're making ourselves attractive as a portfolio. So really the diversity in our portfolio and usage occasions could be attractive to any of the bigger players because they all need to stay, fresh with their brand offerings and also offer that diversity with their product offerings.
Thank you for that. Steve Hunter asks, when you acquire and launch a brand, what's your typical marketing budget and how do you fund that budget?
Each brand is different. As we acquire it, or if we do a trademark acquisition or licensing deal, each brand comes with a whole different set of how we roll it out. Most of these brands all have a proven sales history. They've already done their branding, their labeling, their websites, their social media. So part of being fiscally responsible, we really try to utilize our funding towards product runs and get the product back into distribution. This way, that immediately will turn into revenue for the company, in opposed to just coming up with a marketing budget to market the brand that's already been marketed. So we're really jumping fast forward with our strategies and not having to incur a large, heavy marketing budget because of the work that the former entrepreneurs already did and the millions that they've already put into it.
All right. Orlando Marshall says, your last quarterly report doesn't show sales. Can you enlighten us as to what the Q4 numbers might look like? And do you offer guidance?
Sure. Well, like I said, it's a very new company, not even a year old. Our first line of business is to acquire these brands, identify, research, see what the emerging categories are, see what's a good fit for the consumer base, and then be able to acquire these brands. Once we acquire these brands, we have a first phase of onboarding, which uses a series of operational assessments to determine what fiscal improvements are necessary. So then we're taking our time and our sophisticated specialists that are on board with us to really drill down and see how do we do full product runs and pay up front rather than, the startup companies that might have to use terms or not do a full run and therefore our costs are more expensive. So we have to go through and really evaluate that. We want to lean on multiple manufacturers as opposed to just one, being dependent on one. So there is an onboarding process that we do go through for each brand. So once we go through that phase with each of our brands, then we will do some product runs. And then our next phase is sales and distribution. We anticipate 2022 being a big year for that. And then, once we start getting ahead with some of the other brands, it will just snowball from there.
Okay. Sarah Quinn asks if the company is more acquisition-based in terms of new products or development-based.
We are mostly acquisition-based. The development part of it would only be reformulating any established brand. So we are not in the business of developing a new concept, which is really the more typical approach in the beverage industry. We want to build brands that either have brand recognition for their trademarks or their formula. So the redevelopment would only be tweaking formulas, or if we had some sales history showing one SKU might have been stronger than the other SKU, we would dig into that and maybe tweak the flavoring a little bit, tweaking labels, brand extensions. We're evaluating with Tickle Water right now how to do a brand extension to focus more on the tween market. Mostly it's acquisition. The redevelopment really just comes with how we want to have that sophisticated management, manage the brand thereafter.
All right. From Robert Felt in sunny, cold New York. He says, songwriters are always asked, What came first, the melody or the lyrics? So for you, in regards to acquisitions, what comes first, the marketing niche or the existing company?
Well, hello, Robert. We know Robert, and we are a fan of Robert, so thank you for your question. What comes first? Well, for us, part of our strength is identifying brands that already have strong marketing. They just might have fallen into poor fiscal management. That's one of our areas where, especially with me on board, coming from a strong background with being able to identify trends within the beverage industry, we can look at a brand and say, this is on trend. They did a great job with their marketing. They've already spent the millions and the years behind it. And then we could come in and just focus on the acquisition of that. And like I said, then put that right into the distribution, the product runs the distributions. Time and time again, we've seen these entrepreneurs without beverage experience come into the marketplace, and all they do is spend money on marketing. So we're almost using it for our advantage to their inexperience then becomes our strength.
All right. Thank you for that. A question from Shep D and Zach D. As you build your multi-brand portfolio, what other sectors do you see the company seeking acquisitions in? Also, will you be doing specific brand development as a company or just acquiring existing brands?
Thank you for that question. Other emerging categories, a big category going forward is the CBD category. We really like it. However, there is some scrutiny amongst that, but we are definitely have our finger on the pulse to monitor that. And when the timing is right, probably pull that in a strategic way, but it is a careful balance with the legality issues. However, we don't want to miss the boat on that, so we are reviewing that. Bottled water. Water is always going to be a staple in the beverage industry. You can't live without water. Everybody drinks water or should be drinking water. Everybody drinks water on the go these days, so we will constantly be reviewing new good-for-you water products. I have a huge connection with water. My start at Vitamin Water with Smart Water was one of the first encounters with the bottled water. So that's really a passion play for me, is making sure we are looking at what is the most healthiest water, functional water that we could do. So we're constantly looking at that sector. And as new categories arise, we're going to be there with our finger on the pulse. Like I said, the entrepreneurs that really have the great big ideas are paving the way for us. We're just there in the coattails waiting for them to spend their millions trying to get it to market. And then, once they go through that phase, we'll be there for the take-in.
Great. Ron Richard says he sees a hemp-infused drink in your news. So what are your target beverages in terms of percentage and type? And what percentage is hemp or CBD based? And do you work with alcoholic beverages?
So let me understand that question. He's asking about the percentages of hemp in our new product?
I think he's just asking in general, what percentage is hemp and CBD, also maybe alcoholic beverages, soft drinks, energy drinks?
Sure. Well, right now we're really early on to give a breakdown of percentage. We really haven't, we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves and give those percentages to say, only a percent will go to a certain category. We really want to stay open to be able to acquire whatever brand we feel will be a big category and has an already strong retail presence, sales history. That's really how we gauge our acquisitions. As far as for alcohol beverages, look, nothing's ever off the table. It's always open-minded. That's how we will stay a very, advanced company, is by being open-minded and looking at all scenarios. However, when you go into alcohol, it does open up a whole new set of requirements, restrictions, different distributor networks, different retailers. So our idea is to try to stay cohesive with building out a functional, healthy brand portfolio, because that way we can leverage all distributors and retailers for all of our brands.
Great. Well, Erin, we are out of time, but we've got more questions for you. So we'll send them to you so you can answer on your own. And please join us again with some future updates of this exciting company.
Thank you. The time went faster than I thought. So hopefully all your listeners stayed plugged in. And I do appreciate the time that they all took to listen more about Golden Grail. They can all reach out to me directly at Heit at Golden Grail Beverages or follow any of our social channels.
Wonderful. Thank you, Erin. See you again soon.
Thanks, Anna.